Teonna Rainwater's, Amina Nieves, love interest, Pete Plenty Clouds, Cole Brings Plenty, was recast in 1923 Season 2, and there's a heartbreaking reason for the change. The cast of 1923 is a big reason why Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone spin-off has become as successful as it is. From established stars like Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren to up-and-coming actors like Brandon Sklenar, 1923 is packed to the gills with acting talent. While those names may command most of the show's attention, the rest of the Western show's actors also contribute quite a bit. That's also why many 1923 viewers may have noticed that Pete Plenty Clouds, the Crow man who began a romantic relationship with Teonna Rainwater, is played by a different actor. The premiere of 1923 didn't explain why Pete was recast, however, as it simply dove straight into Pete, Teonna, and runs his horse, Michael Spears, fleeing from Montana to Oklahoma. Unfortunately, there's a tragic real-world reason why the original actor who portrayed Pete, Cole Brings Plenty, didn't return for 1923 Season 2. Pete Plenty Clouds' original actor in 1923, Cole Brings Plenty, tragically passed away in 2024. Cole Brings Plenty was found dead outside Kansas City in April 2024. Pete Plenty Clouds, Cole Brings Plenty, smiling with the subtitle, No Turning Back Anyway, in 1923 Season 1, Episode 8. The main reason Pete Plenty Clouds was recast in 1923 Season 2 is because his original actor, Cole Brings Plenty, tragically died prior to filming. Brings Plenty was found dead in the woods outside Kansas City on April 5, 2024, via Kansas City Star, and 1923 Season 2 began filming in July 2024, via TV Insider. Brings Plenty was wanted for questioning in relation to an alleged domestic violence incident, but Johnson County deputies did not suspect any foul play. Cole Brings Plenty's death was a tragedy for many reasons, not least of which being that he was just 27 years old when he passed away. 1923 had to recast Pete Plenty Clouds after Cole Brings Plenty's death. Pete was set up as a major love interest for Teonna, so he couldn't be written out of 1923 Season 2. Pete Plenty Clouds, Cole Brings Plenty, and Teonna Rainwater, Amina Nieves, snuggling in 1923 Season 1, Episode 8. Due to the nature of Cole Brings Plenty's 1923 character, the Yellowstone prequel essentially had to recast him. At the end of 1923 Season 1, Pete Plenty Clouds was starting a budding relationship with Teonna Rainwater, which was clearly going to be a focus of Season 2. It wouldn't have made sense for 1923 Season 2 to simply write Pete out of the show between seasons, so they chose a new actor to play him in Brings Plenty's absence. Killing Pete off would also have been quite insensitive to Brings Plenty and his family, who are still grieving. Another reason 1923 couldn't simply have Pete leave Teonna and runs his horse is because of Yellowstone's larger narrative. Teonna is an ancestor of Thomas Rainwater, Gil Birmingham, in Yellowstone, so she needs to continue the Rainwater lineage. She's on the run from the law in 1923 Season 2, however, and aside from Pete, her romantic prospects are few and far between. If 1923 Season 2 hadn't recast Pete Plenty Clouds, it would have had a much harder time explaining how Teonna carried forward the Rainwater family long enough for Thomas to be born. Who plays Pete Plenty Clouds in 1923 Season 2? Jeremy Gowner's previous roles explained. Though the circumstances of his introduction to 1923 Season 2 were heartbreaking, the new actor playing Pete Plenty Clouds seems to be more than qualified for the role. Jeremy Gowner took over the role of Pete Plenty Clouds after Cole Brings Plenty's death, and he will star in the remainder of Pete's 1923 Season 2 appearances. Gowner has quite a few notable acting credits in his filmography already. His most prominent role to date was as Tall Shadow in Netflix's American Prime Val, but he's also had smaller roles in movies like The Last Son and The Harbinger. Perhaps the most interesting part of Jeremy Gowner's acting experience is the fact that he has already been part of the Sheridan-verse of Yellowstone spin-offs. Gowner played one of the warriors that Elsa Dutton, Isabel May, killed in 1883. Though it would have been ideal to bring Cole Brings Plenty back for 1923 Season 2, Gowner should be a worthy replacement. His casting also makes Gowner one of the many actors to appear in multiple Taylor Sheridan shows, meaning he already proved his talent to the writer once. Cole Brings Plenty's death was tragic, but his 1923 character is at least in good hands with Jeremy Gowner.